One of Hollywood's most recognizable superstars of the 1960s, Paul Newman's impressive acting skills and piercing blue eyes turned him into a screen legend. With a remarkable career that comprises more than 80 acting roles, Newman is undoubtedly one of Hollywood's most prolific personalities. Kicked out of college for unruly behavior, some of his most famous characters gave voice to a generation that was disappointed in their institution.
I have to do anything I don't want to. You keep forgetting the conditions on which I agreed to stay on living with you.
In this list, we'll be taking a look at the top 10 Paul Newman movies of all time. Number 10, The Long, Hot Summer.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Jody. I'll tell you what I'll do.
Based on a collection of writings by William Faulkner, The Long, Hot Summer is an irreverent comedy starring Paul Newman and Orson Welles. Newman plays the role of Ben Quick, an accused barn burner and sly con man who's been recently expelled from his hometown. With nowhere to go, Ben hitches a ride to Frenchman's Bend, a small town in Mississippi. He immediately befriends the Varner family, the richest in town, living in a luxurious plantation. However, things get tense with some of the town's residents, especially those who can see through Ben's disguise. This movie marks the first cinematic collaboration between Newman and his new wife, Joanne Woodward. The actress got pregnant during the production of The Long, Hot Summer, but sadly miscarried less than a month before the film's premiere.
$10? Why, man, you couldn't buy that much dynamite for just $10. There's no horse in there. Can't run a mile in 3 minutes.
Number 9, Hombre.
Maybe if we all get thirsty, we'll go to Delgado's and get some mezcal.
Part of the revisionist Western genre, 1967's Hombre stars Newman as John Russell, a white man raised by Apaches. These kinds of westerns hoped to revitalize the decaying Western genre using darker storylines and morally ambiguous heroes as their main characters. Hombre also aimed to paint the Native Americans more positively after years of cowboy films portrayed them as savages. John Russell faces prejudice from the rest of his fellow men due to his upbringing as an Apache. Financially bankrupt, Russell decides to sell his boarding house to purchase a herd of horses. He ends up sharing a stagecoach with a group of travelers who all see him as an outsider due to his Native American roots. However, when their stagecoach is attacked by bandits, Russell and his sharp instincts become the group's best bet at survival. The role of John Russell was offered to Steve McQueen first, but the actor refused since it reminded him of one of his previous roles. However, upon seeing the movie, McQueen commented that Hombre was, undoubtedly, his favorite Paul Newman film. Number 8, Nobody's Fool.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Released in 1994, Nobody's Fool is the most recent entry on our list. This dramedy, based on a novel written by Richard Russo, stars Paul Newman as Sully, a man reflecting on his life in his golden years. The movie also features the last performance of veteran actress Jessica Tandy, who passed away that year. Donald Sullivan, better known as Sully, is a stubborn man living in North Bath, New York. The movie follows Sully as he lives through some drastic changes that threaten his quiet life. The film features an ensemble cast that features some of Hollywood's top-paid stars, including Bruce Willis and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Newman had already worked alongside Willis in 1982's The Verdict and would later co-star with Hoffman in 2005's Empire Falls.
Hi, good looking. You running away from home? Where are you headed?
Number 7, The Verdict.
I'm gonna win this. I'm going to the jury with a solid case.
This 1982 legal drama was directed by the sharp mind of Sidney Lumet, who gained massive popularity for having directed 12 Angry Men. Based on a 1980 novel, The Verdict follows the story of an alcoholic lawyer facing his career's most important case. The movie stars Paul Newman as Frank Galvin, a down-on-his-luck lawyer who spends more time in bars than at the courthouse. It seems Frank's days as an attorney are over until he comes across an interesting medical malpractice lawsuit. Frank agrees to work on the case, thinking that it will help him revitalize his failing career. However, the more he investigates the case, he finds that it might be bigger than his job and that pursuing the truth might be the right thing to do. As mentioned earlier, Bruce Willis appears in the film. However, as this was very early in his acting career, he only gets a very minor, uncredited role as an extra during the film's iconic closing speech. The fact that he also has a full head of hair makes him even more difficult to recognize.
I lose my star witness, and I can't get a continuance, and I don't care. I'm going up there, I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna let the jury decide.
Number 6, HUD.
That's what I try to do. Sometimes I lean to one side of it, sometimes I lean to the other.
Starring Paul Newman as Hud Bannon, a troubled anti-hero, Hud is one of the best examples of revisionist westerns available. A tale about guilt, family, and trauma, this movie is one of director Martin Ritt's most solid dramas. Homer Bannon is a man of strong moral principles. That said, his son, Hud, is the complete opposite of a respectable man. After accidentally killing his brother in a car crash, Hud has sunk into a life of arrogance and alcoholism. With the family's ranch at stake, Hud will have to decide if he wants to give his life new meaning or let everything his family possesses turn to dust. This was a challenging role for Paul Newman. Not only was he forced to learn to speak with a Texan accent, but he also spent 10 days living as a rancher to familiarize himself with Hud's lifestyle.
Working for you on this ranch, and Daddy, you have had top-grade cheap labor.
Number 5. The Hustler.
I'm the best you ever seen, Fats. I'm the best there is. Even if you beat me, I'm still the best.
This 1961 drama film set in the New York City professional pool scene stars Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason. Newman plays Eddie Felson, aka Fast, an up-and-coming pool player that dreams of challenging a legendary player. Fast gets his wish granted when he finally faces off against Minnesota Fats, a longtime pool champion. However, their meeting spells doom for Fast, who falls into financial troubles after losing a bet with the champion. Now, Fast enters a dangerous business partnership with an unscrupulous manager, hoping to get a rematch against Minnesota Fats, no matter the cost.
Come on, $3,000. That's my bankroll, my life savings.
The Hustler was a massive critical and box office success, and also sparked a longtime friendship between Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason. The two actors would enjoy their time between takes playing pool, which let them perform nearly every shot seen in the film themselves.
You don't know what winning is, Bert. You're a loser. Because you're dead inside.
Number 4. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Daddy, now what makes him so big? His big heart, his big belly?
Based on a play by Tennessee Williams, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof stars the acting power couple of Elizabeth Taylor and Paul Newman. Taylor plays Maggie, while Newman plays Brick, her alcoholic husband. Brick and Maggie's relationship is turbulent, to say the least. When Brick's sports dreams are shattered in an accident, he finds solace in drinking. Maggie, on the other hand, feels neglected by Brick. However, their relationship changes when they learn of Brick's father's imminent death, an event that unites Brick and Maggie more than ever before. Elizabeth Taylor was going through a difficult time when the shooting of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof began. Her husband, Mike Todd, died in a plane crash the very same day that the shooting started. However, she was able to keep working, partially thanks to the support she received from the movie's director, Richard Brooks. Like many other serious films of the 50s, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof was supposed to be released in black and white. However, once the casting of Paul Newman and Elizabeth Taylor was decided, director Brooks decided to shoot in color instead. The reason? Taylor's violet and Newman's bright blue eyes.
That I could kill you with this crutch.
Good Lord, man, do you think I'd care if you
Skipper
did?
and I had a friendship. Now, why won't you let it?
Number 3. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Manos arriba.
They got him up. Skip on down.
Arriba.
Skip on down.
Todos ustedes.
Set in the final years of the American Wild West, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is a true classic of the Western genre. Based loosely on the real-life story of outlaw Butch Cassidy and his companion, the movie stars Newman as Cassidy, with Robert Redford playing the Sundance Kid. A fearsome gang of outlaws, led by Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, terrorizes Wyoming in 1899. The thieves believe themselves to be invincible, something that suddenly changes after a failed train robbery. Now on the run from the law, the duo of outlaws find themselves in a predicament, and it seems like the only option they have left is to flee the country. Directed by George Roy Hill, the movie received support from Lula Parker Bettinson, the real-life sister of Butch Cassidy. She would often visit the shooting and be amazed by how accurately the movie portrayed her brother. She was particularly impressed by how well Paul Newman captured her brother's behavior and mannerisms.
Por favor. Por favor.
Number 2. Cool Hand Luke.
That's it. That's the end of it. Man, there's still daylight.
Perhaps one of Paul Newman's most memorable roles is that of Luke in the 1967 drama Cool Hand Luke. A tale of struggle and nonconformity, Luke's character encapsulated the feelings of an entire generation, one that felt betrayed by its authorities. Luke, a decorated war veteran, is arrested for cutting parking meters off their poles one drunken night. He's sentenced to work for 2 years in a chain gang prison camp. Luke immediately challenges the authorities of both the prison system and the prisoners, earning the respect of his fellow inmates. Newman insisted to the film's writers that they wrote Luke's character as if it was meant for a different actor. The actor would be forced to adapt to the character instead of playing a role tailored to his strengths. Despite this, Newman ended up enjoying the character, confessing that it was one of his favorite roles of his career.
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Our number 1 pick is The Sting.
We'll use a wire. Never known a poker player yet didn't want to beat the pony.
This 1973 crime drama reunites Paul Newman with Robert Redford in what could be the best role of their prolific careers. Based on the real-life exploits of the Gondorff brothers, The Sting is frequently regarded as one of the best films ever made. It also reignited Newman's career after he had been involved in a series of box office flops. Newman stars as Harry Gondorff, aka Shaw, a professional grifter. Shaw joins forces with Johnny Hooker, another con man looking for a way to make it big with a single caper. Together, Gondorff and Hooker plan what could be considered the greatest con of their careers, risking everything they have in the process. Released on Christmas Day of 1973, The Sting became a massive hit. It gave Newman a chance to prove that he had the acting skills to mix comedy and drama, with film critics praising his work. Considered one of the most influential caper films ever made, The Sting currently scores a respectable 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb.com.
That's what you get for playing with your head up your ass. A couple more like that, we can all go to bed early.
Do you agree with our list? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and be the first to receive new Top 10 videos from Stream TV.